the program were We Shall Overcome and We Shall Not Be Moved. These songs were sung at rallies and marches during Dr. King's leadership of the civil rights movements in the 1950s and 1960s.
I understand there is no school on Monday, but why? It's a holiday.
What kind of a holiday?
It's in honor of Martin Luther King Jr. Why is there a holiday in his honor?
He had a dream about justice, peace, and brotherhood for America.
Is this a holiday for all Americans?
Yes, he touched the hearts and minds of everyone.
He believed that everyone was important and should be treated equally.
Let's hear some information about this important man who led the Freedom March.
The letters in Martin will tell you about his childhood.
M is for ML. As a child, he was called ML because Martin Luther King Jr. was such a long name. He was born in Atlanta, Georgia, January 15, 1929.
A stands for age. At the age of 4, Martin Luther's mother tried to send him to school a year early because he was so smart.
Do you know what he did? He told his friends that there were 4 candles on his birthday cake, so his teacher sent him home to wait a year.
R stands for religious minister. Martin Luther's father was a religious minister at Ebenezer Baptist Church.
T stands for tweed. Some people called him tweed because he liked to wear tweed clothes. I stands for interest. Martin Luther was very interested in sports. He was a fullback on the football team and played basketball and wrestled.
N stands for noted. Martin Luther King Jr. was noted for his intelligence and skipped the 9th and 12th grade.
He went to college in Atlanta when he was only 15. Later he got a PhD degree.
Wow, he was a smart young man. What can we learn about his adult life?
We have a great deal to tell you about this famous Black American who changed the world. Let's now learn about the letters of Luther.
L stands for love. Martin Luther King Jr. fell in love and married Coretta Scott King. He met her at Boston University when he got his PhD degree.
U stands for untiringly. He walked untiringly to improve blacks on city buses.
Dr. King lived in Montgomery, Alabama in 1955 when Mrs. Rosa Parks was arrested on a city bus for refusing to give up her seat to a white man.
Miss Parks was a black lady who got on the bus and sat down. The bus driver told her to get up because a white man wanted her seat.
Miss Parks was doubted and she said no. A policeman took her to jail.
T stands for time. Martin Luther King Jr. said there comes a time when people get tired of being kicked about. He gave stirring speeches and wrote many books about his work to make all people free.
H stands for hatred. This is what some blacks had for whites and what some whites had for blacks.
But Martin Luther King Jr. said to love others, not hate. When he spoke, he told people to love, not to hate.
E stands for Ed. Martin Luther King Jr. fought hard to end segregation.
For many years, some of America's public schools were being segregated, which means black children went to one school and white children went to another, no matter which school was closer.
R stands for rule. The Supreme Court ruled segregation of schools to be illegal in 1954 after hearing the case of Brown versus Board of Education.
This case involved a second grader named Linda Carroll Brown who had to cross a railroad yard to catch a bus to go to a school for black children 2.5 miles from her home.
Linda's father had tried to enroll her in this school for white children only 5 blocks away. When the school refused to accept Linda, her father took the school to court and eventually Linda won the right to attend the school. That is some neat information we have heard about his childhood and adult life.
Now we are going to hear some other interesting things that happened in his life.
Finally, we will learn about the letters from King and Jr.
K stands for King. Dr. King felt that many of the laws of the South were wrong. He led a freedom march from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Blacks and whites marched together to tell everyone that all people should be free to work, to vote, to go to good schools, to sit anywhere on a bus, and to eat in public eating places.
I stands for I.
Dr. Martin Luther King is best remembered for I Have a Dream speech he gave to 200,000 people in Washington, D.C. in front of Lincoln Memorial.
N stands for Nobel Peace Prize. In 1964, Dr. King went to Norway. He was then given the Nobel Peace Prize.
That is the prize given every year to the man or woman who has done the most for peace.
He was 35 years old and the youngest ever to win the Nobel Peace Prize.
G stands for gun. We are sad to say that a gunshot killed Dr. King. He was assassinated while standing on the balcony of his Memphis hotel. All over the world, people were sad and crying.
J stands for join. Won't you join us in keeping Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s dream alive?
How? By respecting the rights and feelings of other people.
A person may look or behave differently from you, but don't mistreat anybody. Be kind and considerate.
R stands for rights. Dr. King was one of America's greatest civil rights leaders and social reformers.
Through writing speeches and nonviolent demonstrations, he helped give equal political rights to all Americans.
He made all Americans realize what harm prejudice can do. Dr. King was truly a civil rights leader.